basic calculation then. I've got two numbers written in scientific notation or standard form, and I've got to divide them. And you've got to do this in your GDC. Now I'm going to show you the first way that a lot of people will tend to do this in their calculators without using a shortcut button that you've got. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type in 6.7 times 10, so I'm basically just typing it in as it's written, and then if you're going to raise it to a power, I'm going to use that upward arrow button that I've just circled there. So if I press the upward arrow button, you'll see that it jumps up in the screen to make a power. I want to do power 9, and now if I want to get out the powers, then I just press this one here, and you can see now it jumps down. Now I have to divide, so I press the division button. But what you've got to realise is, I want the calculator to divide by all of this. So when you put this into your calculator, you need to add a bracket around your scientific notation number at that stage just to keep safe. So now I use my bracket buttons, and then I type in the second number, 5.34. I'm going to type in times the 10, use the upward arrow button, 2, jump back down, put in my bracket, and then of course to get equals I press enter, and that's what I've got on my screen. I've got a big number like that. Now it depends on how you're asked to give your answer. We would normally round off to 3 significant figures. So what I'm going to do here, let's see if I can pull this over, get it on the screen, make it a bit bigger. Now in grade 9 and above, especially in calculations like this, you're looking to do 3 significant figures usually. So what you would do here is you would look at the screen and say, I'm taking the first 3 numbers and I'm stopping it there. Now everything after that, all the way down to the decimal point, is going to change to 0. And I've got these figures here, and you can see the third figure, the next one's a 4, so this number stays the same. So in my answer, using my calculator, I would just write down 1, 2, 5, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. And that's it done. However, there is another way to do this which you might find a bit quicker. And it's a button that you've probably not used very much. And you have to look at your calculator quite closely. It's not easy to spot. It's this button here above the 7. And when you look on your calculator, what you'll find is that it looks like this. It's written in blue and it's a double E. Now that stands for, well, you can just think of it as standing for exponents, for example. It's to do with powers. Now that button allows you to raise it to the power without having to type in all this information here, right? So you don't need to type that in anymore. So if I'm going to use the double E button for this calculation, let's just get this out of the way, it's a bit messy. So the calculation, I'm going to do it on my calculator, is the same as before, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going to enter it a different way. So watch how much quicker this is. 6.7, now it's 10 to the power 9. So instead of typing it, I go to second function, double E button. Now once that appears, it means times 10 to the power. So now I just type in the power, and that's it done. And then I want to divide by, and just to play safe, we'll use a bracket, 5.34 times 10 to the power, second function, double E. Oh, didn't work, second function, double E. No, gone wrong, let's delete that bit. Second function, there it is now. So, times 2, close my bracket. Now, it gives you the same answer, it's just a bit quicker, that's all. Now, one thing to watch out for at the very end. If, for example, you get an answer like this on your calculator screen, depending on the size of the number, your calculator will actually give you the answer in scientific notation. However, if you write that down on your answer paper, all the way up to grade 12, you actually get it wrong. Because that's not proper maths, that's calculator language. If you want to get this thing right, what you've got to do is write down the first part of the number, and then for e, it's times 10 to the power, and then you put that power in here. And again, what I just said to you, in grade 9, don't forget, if you've got a big long answer, try and round off to so that you've got 3 significant figures in your answer. And that's the basic way of using entering data into a GDC.